Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and this is the Not So Serious Keto video podcast. We are starting to get close to both my birthday, my 56th birthday, and my 5-year ketoversary. We are now within 2 weeks, and that means a few things. First off, it means I'm going to be doing some giveaways. I don't know if I'll do one necessarily this week, since I just did 2 like last week, but definitely we're going to have one the week before my birthday. So I'm saying not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. I think that's the 13th. And there will be multiple winners, so we've got that going on. Interestingly, I've already received a birthday gift from one of you. Thank you, Dawn. And that got me thinking about a few things. First off, I have received a number of gifts from a number of you. I've received t-shirts like this one. I've received food products and ingredients that maybe aren't available in my area of the country or perhaps in the United States at all. I've gotten PayPal donations on my website ranging from $1 to $1,000. And it's mind-blowing to me. No matter how much somebody sends to me, if it's $1, it still means that my content meant enough that they would gift me some money. And that's pretty cool. That's in fact very cool. I've had people send me kitchen gadgets and appliances. I have had a musician send me a couple of his CDs. And at one point in one of my podcasts, quite a while ago, I had mentioned that as a child, I wanted to be a magician when I grew up. Well, one of my viewers is a magician and he sent me some magic tricks. I'm not any good at it. I can't sell the magic. I think that's the problem. To me, the moment I know a trick is a trick, then I'm not bought in, and I think that just sort of carries over. I don't have the magician's flair. And anytime anyone has sent me a gift, a card, a note, I always save any sort of note or card or anything like that that someone sends. I've got a big box where I keep them all next to my desk, and sometimes I'll look at them when I need a little bit of cheering up. Because this job as a content creator, it can be sometimes a bit of a lonely existence, and sometimes you can feel not as appreciated as you think you should. And that's why when any of you leave a comment for me, it really means a lot. I talk so often about how I read every comment, I try and reply to a lot of them, or at least give them a heart. I miss a few here and there, but I got to thinking, about all the gifts that I've received from you, and the greatest gift is just that you continue to watch and interact and be part of the Serious Keto community by leaving comments. So I want to tell you once again just how much I appreciate all of you. Now, another thing related to my birthday and my ketoversary, I had really hoped that I would hit 300,000 subscribers by then. That way I could just do a massive giveaway blowout, but that didn't happen. It really does seem that YouTube is not promoting my channel very much. Maybe not any keto channel. I mean, there's certainly some speculation that keto is being sort of silently not promoted. But I know that my subscribers and views are down rather considerably, and I've heard from other channels that their views are down, on the order of 50% or more. So it's not an unusual thing, but it is a thing that I think you can all help out with. I just want you to remember, and I bang this drum an awful lot, that every time you click like, every time you leave a comment, it boosts the engagement metric that YouTube looks at. And they want to see channels where there's a high viewer engagement, where you watch and then either you watch another one of my videos or you jump to somebody else's video. So whether it's my channel or anybody's channel, if you enjoy that content, if you want to see that channel grow, make sure you're clicking the like button, make sure you're leaving comments. And the one final thing I need to say, because I get comments a lot of time from people saying, hey, this is the first video of yours that's popped up in my feed in forever. And then they'll go and they'll look and they'll see that they got unsubscribed from my channel or that notifications have been turned off. So I would encourage you to check. Just make sure that if you want to see my content, you are subscribed and that you do have notifications turned on. I'd mentioned a while back that my plan was that this year, my 56th year on this planet, that I would get into the best shape of my life. I hope I didn't say that it would be by the time I turned 56, because I didn't pull that off for a couple of reasons. The biggest of which, and I had mentioned this several months ago on a podcast, I did something to my left shoulder. And I'm pretty sure it happened while I was getting a tattoo on the inside of my left arm. I had my arm extended over this like little stand, and I think I was trying to be too much of a tough guy and not admit that I was in pain, and something slipped in my shoulder. And now even the most benign movements cause it to kind of feel like it's going to pop out of the socket. In fact, I'll get a little click out of it, and it'll twitch a bit, and sometimes it will sting a bit. I'd seen a chiropractor about it. That didn't make it better. So now I've been going to physical therapy because I don't want to have surgery. I don't want to be out of commission that long unless it's absolutely necessary. So I'm kind of trying incremental improvements, and I've been doing physical therapy, but that really kind of throws a wrench into all of my other exercise. Because if you think about it, there's not a lot of movement, exercise movement, that doesn't somehow involve your shoulder. So that's kind of stymied my progress a little bit. Hopefully we get that squared away soon. But one of the things I plan on doing, and I get asked this an awful lot by all of you, is when am I going to do another extended fast? The last extended fast I did was, I think it might have been 2 years ago this upcoming summer. So at least a year and a half ago. And what I did is I had a group of people. I said, hey, anybody who wants to sort of be part of this, I'll send out, I'll do like daily live streams or little videos or things like that for people that want to be part of it. And then we can be sort of a support group for an extended fast. The thing is, I can only really do an extended fast when I'm alone. And it's gotten easier now that Connor and Jaden and Colton and Courtney don't live here. It's just Terry and me, but it's still, I'm the cook, most of the time. And it's very hard to cook or witness or be around anyone that's eating when you're on an extended fast. It's just, at least for me, I start getting a little bit moody, a little bit grumpy. I'm fine when I'm by myself, but as a result, I don't even really try and attempt it when Terry's around. However, at the end of June, she is going on a road trip with her brother and her mom, and I think maybe Courtney, some NASCAR thing, someplace that I'm not interested in seeing, but that means I'm alone for a week, which means I can do an extended fast. So mark your calendar. It's probably going to start on June 25th or June 26th. And, my plan is probably run it 5 days to a week, something like that. If you don't have experience with extended fasting, don't feel obligated to throw some shade at me down in the comments. I would encourage you to study up on fasting a little bit, because it's an amazing, amazing experience, especially once you start getting into an extended fast. The changes that start to occur, at least for me, are pretty wonderful. My vision gets better. My energy levels just go through the roof. My mental clarity becomes so much better. Ketones also go way up through the roof. I'll hit a point where I will probably get up to 6 or 7 or higher for my ketones. But it's a good experience. If you haven't tried it, don't turn your nose up at it or say, oh my gosh, you're starving yourself, you're killing yourself, because you really aren't. The next topic is sort of keto in the news. In fact, there have been a few articles within the last week or two that all could have qualified for a little news segment, but I chose this one in particular. Now, this particular article, if you go out and search on the web for "let them eat cereal," I think is all you'd need to Google, you will find this on multiple different news sources. And because this does talk about the economy here and food prices, there may be some of you that are going to be tempted to leave a political comment. I'm going to encourage you not to do that. I mean, some of you will be like, well, food prices are high because of capitalism and corporate greed. And some of you that'll say food prices are so high because of Joe Biden's economic policies. Well, now, I said them both, and you don't have to. Let's get on to the article, shall we? Let them eat cornflakes appear to be Kellogg's CEO Gary Pilnick's advice to cash-strapped shoppers who are spending the highest portion of their income on food than any point in the last 30 years. In an interview with CNBC last week, WK Kellogg CEO Pilnick said the company was advertising cereal for dinner to consumers looking for more affordable options. "Give chicken the night off," the ad's cheery tagline reads. WK Kellogg owns cereal brands such as Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, Corn Flakes, Raisin Bran, and others. Says Pilnick, "The cereal category has always been quite affordable, and it tends to be a great destination when consumers are under pressure. If you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they might otherwise do, that's going to be much more affordable." His advice hasn't landed well with people frustrated by spending 26% more on groceries since 2020. On social media, the campaign is being seen as insensitive. Pilnick, however, thought the opposite. "In fact, it's landing really well right now," Pilnick said. "Cereal for dinner is something that is probably more on trend now, and we expect it to continue as that consumer is under pressure." There are two reasons I brought this article up. One is because I will often get comments from people who are frustrated with the high price of packaged keto goods. Well, it's not just keto. Everything is expensive now. And the other reason is cheap food is cheap for a reason, because it's pretty much nutritionally empty. And it's so frustrating to see this recommendation to people to go and eat this garbagey, high-carb food that is not really going to fulfill them nutritionally. They're going to eat way more of it, I suspect, than they would if they ate a steak. I mean, when I eat a steak, I get full or satisfied and I stop. I haven't had cereal, or at least non-keto cereal. I've probably only had keto cereal a couple of times in the last 5 years. But back in my cereal eating days, there was really no stopping me. I mean, I would eat the cereal and then there would be milk left. So then I'd pour more cereal in and then I'd eat that. And then if it started not having enough milk, I'd add more milk and just keep going back and forth adding stuff. That's sort of the way these cheap foods are. French fries and potato chips and regular pasta and rice, I just don't get full on. And I just never wind up feeling satisfied from them. So I think this is pretty extraordinarily bad advice and short-sighted advice from Pilnick, especially given that I look sort of at nutrition as a pay now or pay later situation. You're either going to pay a little bit more now and be healthier longer in life, or you pay later in medication and doctor's bills. One of the things, though, that I will try and do over the course of this year is look for ways to make keto more budget-friendly for those of you, looking at particular cuts of meat, perhaps, or bulk food preparation that can help keep the prices down. Now, speaking of cooking and cooking videos, I'm working on one for this Friday. I hope I can get it done in time. It started innocently enough. It was just going to be a highly customizable cooking technique and sauce. And it's kind of taken on a bit of a life of its own. And now I've got about 4 or 5 different meal ideas for it, and I'm trying to figure out, can I stitch all of that together over the course of the next 4 days and get that video out? If I can't, I'm not sure what I'll do. Probably a giveaway. I mean, that's usually my fallback position. As I'd mentioned in a previous video, though, this month is going to be, what am I going to call it? Hit or miss? See what happens? What's a good term? Fluid. We'll call it fluid. I'm going to have to be kind of fluid this month in terms of what videos I can make and when, because as I mentioned, we are moving Courtney into a new house, and Terry and I have been doing a lot of fixer-upper type activity, and there's a lot to go. We've just about got the interior done with the exception of the basement, but then there's going to be a ton of yard work. This place is just in a state of serious disrepair, and we want to help out, and we want to get it done before we get into summer and want to start enjoying our own time. So that means I'll be spending a fair amount of time at Courtney's house, which is about 40 minutes away, and that means I'm not cooking here, but we'll try to stay caught up. We'll try not to have any lags in videos. All I can promise is that I'll do my best. And with that, I thank you once again for tuning in, for spending a little bit of time with me on a Monday morning, if it's Monday morning wherever you are. So, thanks for listening, and thanks for watching.